Hello Games is promising an open-world multiplayer Earth, literally an entire planet Earth the size of our own planet Earth explorable with your friends. But is this just another attempt to garner more sales? Hello Games and their leader Sean Murray have recently announced a new game called Light No Fire, and it really does look and sound amazing. They've apparently built a new open-world sandbox survival game that takes place on a majestic fantasy planet the size of Earth, and I'm certainly guilty of being excited to play. The whole concept is drawing me in, but we do have to keep in mind this game comes from the same developers who initially flopped No Man's Sky upon release, promising tons of features that didn't come to fruition until much later, such as dynamic interactions with NPCs, naming your own ship, and even something as simple as running into other players all during this initial launch. However, as I mentioned before, it is important to understand that despite these shortcomings from launch, No Man's Sky as it stands today is worlds apart from its launch counterpart, and has completely redeemed itself with years and years of free DLCs and updates, drastically improving upon the entire game, making it the diamond it is today, and having made an impossible comeback that tons of gamers and reviewers alike didn't think was possible until this actually was. My question to you is, do you think they've learned enough from No Man's Sky that their new game Light No Fire will fulfill their promises, or are we going to get another fantastic game after a half a decade of improvements as we all received with No Man's Sky? Let me know what you think, guys. Another game to add to that list of yours is Like a Dragon: Infinite Wealth. Famous for their insanely detailed recreations of Japanese cities and hilariously odd themes, the Like a Dragon games have mostly followed the adventures of Kazuma Kiryu, but this time around the game is set in Hawaii, and with a new character addition, Ichiban Kasuga, and very strange cast of allies including one badass that can literally kill people with his mop, and another with spiky balls for hands, you should definitely get this game. If you're in the mood for a fun game with a sense of humor and a tropical escape from reality that'll have you dying from all the laughter and weird quirks, you can get this game right now, as it was already released this January 26th of 2024 and is available for play on PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox, and PC. Next up, we have Tekken 8. No other game out there quite mixes stylish with absolutely ridiculous like this fighting game does. This latest addition to Namco's Tekken franchise is adding a cast of strange leopard men, robotic cyborgs, half-naked roid-raging martial artists, assassins, and boxers into its famous fighting pits. Also, Namco will be introducing a new single-player arcade mode that can teach new players of the franchise the ropes, including fundamental techniques, combos, and basically the basics before they end up fighting online with, well, let's just be truthful about this, seasoned players that'll probably kick your butt. This game is available and ready to go since January of 2024 and is available for play on PS5, Xbox Series S and X, as well as PC. Alright, here's a game that just came out called Pacific Drive. You're a driver driving a car that just happens to constantly break down, and you can forget about AAA out here as it doesn't exist. You are in the vicinity of a very strange supernatural anomaly. You'll have to survive by finding supplies and avoiding the self-aware lightning. You'll have to also repair that trusty but not so trusty vehicle of yours if you make it to the garage. That is, if you survive the excursion. This is a survival game that highlights the bond between you and your vehicle. Definitely something to add to that list of yours. I for one love survival games and can't wait to check this one out. This game was released already February 22nd of this year and is available on PS5 and PC. Alright guys, here's something I've been waiting for a very long time. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Game developer Square Enix has spent about the last 10 years remaking its fan-favorite staple Final Fantasy VII. Originally released in 1997, this amazing franchise has stayed strong and true, and in this second part or installment of the initial game, you'll be able to rejoin Cloud Strife and his party as they try to stop the famously evil Sephiroth from destroying their entire world. The entire game has been remixed and modernized, though you can faithfully count on the game's creators to stay as true as possible to the original without compromising its integrity. Players most definitely should add this game to their roster of must-plays. This game was already released last February 29th of this year and is unfortunately only available on PS5 and PC, which in my books is totally uncool, alienating a whole other market of Xbox players who probably would spend their money on the game if they could. Next up, we have a game called Life by You, which is predominantly available on PC only, but still worth a look. This game is probably the first major competitor Sims has ever seen in the last 2 decades, which gives you a scary amount of control upon your little simulation's lives. In this game, you'll seemingly be able to drop into and creepily, if you wish to, watch your simulation's lives. Watch them go about their day-to-day lives and see how they behave behind closed doors. With a ton of potential for player-based storytelling and experimenting, this social sandbox might tell you more about yourself than you'd wish to find out. Expect this game to go live March 5th of this year. Okay everybody, here's one for us all. Get ready for Dragon's Dogma 2. Think Lord of the Rings fantasy meets Japanese anime all mixed perfectly together in this sequel no one expected. Filled with drama, gigantic beasts, companion pets, and seemingly awesome abilities to let you design yourself right down to the width of your jaw and the size of your cheekbones. Head out into the open world and try your luck against fierce dragons, evil wraiths, and a ton of otherworldly demons. A true fantasy game for those who love combat. This game is available on PS5, Xbox Series S and X, and PC this March 22nd. Alright guys, let's have a look at Baby Steps. You're basically playing a dude named Nate, who they've cast as a complete loser. But when mysteriously teleported from his parents' basement, he finds himself immersed in a strange swampland, where he's forced to learn how to survive by, as the name suggests, putting one foot in front of the other. As you traverse the swampland, you must battle against your very own controller. That's right, you gotta keep Nate's avatar upright as much as possible to avoid soiling his already dingy onesie. If you're looking for a laugh, add this game to your personal roster. Expect this game to launch sometime in the summer of 2024, and it will be available on PC and PS5. Next up, we have Hades 2, the sequel to Hades, where you take control of the son of Hades whose name is Zagreus, as you fight your way out of the hellish underworld below through an infinite cycle of death and rebirth. In this sequel, however, you are now the daughter of Hades named Melino, the dark princess of the underworld. Travel with her past the depths of hell where most have never ventured before. Expect extremely intelligent writing and wonderfully accurate interpretations of Greek mythology. Available this summer and thankfully available to us all on Xbox, PC, and PS5. Alright, last but certainly not least on our top 10 games to look out for this year, and a game I will certainly add to my library, is Star Wars Outlaws. In their newest addition to the already famously popular Star Wars franchise, Ubisoft has taken another massive project with this game. With promises of taking you literally to a galaxy far, far away, gamers can now expect to play as a rather flamboyant space rogue named Kay Vess. Expect to be bouncing around the universe committing crimes with a little companion to aid you in all of your criminal activities. This game is definitely a nice change from playing as a Jedi, and I for one can't wait to play on the bad side of things. It looks amazing and fun, and as a bonus lets you explore a ton of iconic Star Wars famous planets. Available to everyone ominously with no set release date, merely available sometime this year, and yes, as I mentioned before everybody, it will be available to everyone on Xbox, PC, and PlayStation 5. Okay everybody, thanks for watching my top 10 games to look out for this 2024. I hope you enjoyed the show, and if you did, subscribe. It's free and I assure you will cost you nothing. Also, let me know which game or games you think you'll be adding to your roster this year, as there are so many coming out I had to narrow it down unfortunately only to 10. Though I'm sure there are tons of other cool games coming out, these ones stood out to me personally, and I'd really like to play a bunch of them, so if you feel the same way, let me know in the comments. Also guys, thanks for watching, stay positive, and don't forget that you're valuable and that you matter. This is your pal the Traveler, signing out.
Smash that like button, subscribe, and tickle the little bell icon, please.